Gilgeous-Alexander and the Oklahoma City Thunder have made history. As the youngest NBA team to capture the 1 seed in a conference, they improved from being outed in the play-in tournament and winning 40 games last year to now being top dog out west with 57 wins. Bypassing the defending champs, the Denver Nuggets, the best defense in the league, Minnesota Timberwolves, a surging Clipper team, and the Lakers. But as we get closer to the opening tip of these playoffs, there seems to be one common theme from almost every sports media platform. The Thunder aren't even in the conversation. Most years in any sport, the team that ranks number 1 in their division or conference is viewed as one of, if not the best team in the league. NBA is no different. Last year, the Denver Nuggets reigned supreme, and most had them carving out a way to the NBA Finals and winning it. While out east, the same thought process went into the number 1 seeded Milwaukee Bucks, but due to an early Giannis injury, plans changed. So if we look to the other coast and check out the number 1 seeded Boston Celtics, they're almost universally penciled in to the finals, especially now that the Bucks may be without Giannis in the first round. So where's the Thunder talk? Well, the most we've heard about the Thunder was in conjunction with the Lakers purposely dropping their play-in game with the New Orleans Pelicans so that they could match up with the number 1 ranked Thunder. Just disrespectful, but is it? Well, in this video, I give my thoughts on whether the media is being unfair to the Rising Thunder, or is it deserved? But first, if you enjoy NBA breakdowns and analysis, please hit the like button like the GOAT used to hit buzzer beaters. Also, if you enjoy podcasts, and we all do, check out our other channel, the GOATcast Podcast, with myself and Big Nige, as we discuss NBA topics past, present, and even future. Thank you all, and back to the content. When you have the number 1 team and top 5 in both offensive defense, you should demand respect in the NBA circle from both the fans and media alike. You also have maybe the best guard currently in the NBA and one of the top choices for MVP. So why does it seem like the Thunder are an afterthought in this postseason talk? Maybe the fact that most of their rotation players are old enough to still be on their parents' health insurance. With an average age of 23.9, so basically 24, most of these guys have not been in the league long enough to earn the respect of the masses. The most we have seen from them and the postseason is a failed attempt in the play-in tournament last season. We almost always overlook young teams that are just gaining a steady spot in the playoffs. It is why the Orlando Magic aren't drumming up much excitement. The simple fact is they are unproven. We have no prior runs to go by, so the big leap in winning and production looks nice, but is it fool's gold? There are teams that have had some great regular seasons and everything has seemed to click, but roll into the playoffs and their inexperience and youth shine brighter than their actual talent. Plus their superstar, Shea, is still a relative newbie in the higher tier of players. So far as great as he is, he's not yet at the level to get superstar calls. He also doesn't have a legit number 2. While I believe Jalen Williams is their legit second option, most give that honor to Chet Holmgren, who is technically a rookie. A rookie that has been great this year, but was sadly overshadowed by Victor Wembanyama, and his early success to start the season kind of fizzled as the season carried on. So while there seems to be a slither of disrespect for this historic squad, the fact remains they are not battle-tested. They have not had to endure the rigors of playoff basketball and the slowed pacing and physicality that goes along with it. Even though that sounds unfair because, as I said, Chet just got there and they did get to challenge themselves in the play-in tournament, a 7-game series is a much different beast, and while some will compare them to the early 2010 Thunder that had a crop of young future stars in Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden, they had a coach in Scott Brooks who was both a player and had been in a coaching role for a while and had some future Hall of Famers to work with. Mark, I'm not going to butcher his last name, is almost as fresh to the postseason as his players are. So with an untested coach and untested roster, what seems like disrespect is simply natural doubt and partially deserved. Newsflash, and I'm sure if you've watched the sport long enough, you realize not all number 1 seeds are created equally. For every San Antonio Spurs in 2014, there's an Atlanta Hawks in 2015. The 1 seed just seemed to land in the Thunder's lap by a slew of fortunate events. The Denver Nuggets, who seemed like locks to snatch up the best record out west, decided to take their foot off the gas against the lowly San Antonio Spurs. The Minnesota Timberwolves, who spent most of the season firmly in the 1 spot, had the unfortune of All-Star Karl Anthony Towns going down with an injury. So the Thunder, healthy for the most part and with a slightly more generous last few games, slid in and took care of business. However, LeBron's media felt the surging Lakers, having not defeated the Denver Nuggets in their last 8 tries, were in a position to possibly throw a game against the Pelicans and then get their wits to beat either the Warriors or Kings to play a more favorable matchup in the Thunder. As crazy as that sounded, if they would have pulled it off, they were probably right in doing so. Let's just face it, the Thunder against the top teams in the West was hit or miss. They were 2-2 against the T-Wolves, they were 1-3 against the Lakers, 2-1 against the Clippers, but surprisingly, were 3-1 against the Nuggets and 3-0 against the Phoenix Suns. So while not terrible, a team that spent most of their season in the 9th and 10th spot out west was able to dismantle them in 3 of their 4 meetings. Not to mention, all those teams named have playoff experience with the teams they currently have constructed. Also, most of those teams have a superstar level player or players on their teams. So the refs are going to likely give them those close calls down the stretch. But like that Thunder team with the young KD, Russ, and Harden, it just takes 1 or 2 series to put the league on notice and put some respect on their names. I'm not sure the Thunder have that type of talent as currently built, but they have guys that can and likely will get to that star level in the NBA. So while it sounds and feels like the media and fans are overlooking the Thunder, part of it is a level of disrespect due to their inexperience and partially deserved for that very same reason. They can easily prove everyone wrong by taking it up a notch, but most of us need the eye test first. I think the Thunder have a bright future and could make a semi-deep run this postseason, but the looming challenges that are out there in a very tough Western Conference might prove to be a little too much for the number 1 seed. But what do you all think? Do you feel the Thunder are being overlooked and disrespected, or is the skepticism of the youngest 1 seed in history deserved? Let me know in the comments section below. Also, if you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Thank you, and be back soon with more content.